Please don't do this. Hello.
Are we good to go? Hi, everyone. I think Jill is just frozen, but we should be starting in a little bit. We're just letting everyone kind of trickle in. Jill, do you know when
We
we're
are good to go. I'll let you
okay?
kind of take it away.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. So today we are talking about a mental health refresh for the spring and the summer months. As I know, we are shifting out of kind of a pandemic into kind of the opening and really going to the summer where a lot of the summer months does bring positive kind of mental health. So I want to make sure we're clearing out a lot of the things that we were holding on to in the midst of the pandemic, in this winter season, if we're parents, if we have our kids at home, and how to properly manage kind of communication with the kids, communication with our partners, communication with ourselves, and even self care. So that's what we'll be kind of going through today in this quick 15-minute kind of seminar or webinar. We'll be going through that, and I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on kind of how to ground yourself in more intense kind of settings. So first I want to start with what emotional wellness is, because everyone should be working on their wellness, right? So emotional wellness is being aware, understanding, and accepting of your emotions. So whether that be good emotions or bad emotions. So we want to make sure that the ability to work through challenges or unexpected kind of lows in our lives are something that we're really prioritizing. So, especially if we are someone who is doing online school, or a parent who was also doing online school, or even someone who's working with the changes of not having that social connection at work, we want to make sure that we're able to work through that emotionally and not just putting our emotions on the back burner. Because when we don't address our emotions, they actually turn into physical symptoms. So, whether it's a constant headache before we go to bed, or back pain, or constant kind of tension in the chest, that's because we're not dealing with the emotional stress that is kind of going on in our mind. So our mind's going to send a signal to the body saying, okay, well, if they're not listening to what's going on up here, let's show them kind of something that they'll actually listen to, right? Because most of us will actually adapt to changing our routine if there's a physical pain. Whereas if there's a mental pain, we say, okay, well, we can let it slide. We can push it to the side until I really have to deal with it. So we want to make sure that we are doing these things. So a lot of factors in that would be striving for balance, managing our stress, creating boundaries, and then also prioritizing not just physical health, but our mental health, and then always working towards a purpose and a meaning. So those are what I want you guys to remember for now. So a lot of the warning signs would be not being able to perform properly at work or at school, pulling away from our usual social circle, eating a lot of food, or sleeping too much, or not sleeping at all, or kind of not feeling that eating. Because when we do have anxiety, sometimes we might not feel like eating, but then there's also emotional eating as well, which we have to be very mindful of. So, and then the other one would be thinking of harming yourself or harming other people. So when we start to see any of these kind of warning signs, we have to know that, okay, well, we're neglecting our emotional well being. And what can I do to kind of take charge again? So these are the four dimensions of recovery: so health, purpose, and home, and then also community. So making sure that you have a strong community that you can rely on. So if you're part of Kawartha Wellness Center, you know that this is a strong community that if you need to have a counselor, there's myself or Jessica, you know that there's chiropractors and other different kind of community resources that you can access. And then making sure that your home is safe and stable, and that you are setting boundaries with whoever lives in that home with you. Because setting boundaries doesn't just happen outside of the home, but it needs to happen inside the home as well. And then taking care of your health as well, because especially in times like these, our health is very important. So we want to do the little things like doing physical activity. So what's really important as well with physical activity, a lot of people will say, well, I can't do physical activity because I just don't have the time, because I can't set aside that half an hour. So break it up into three different parts. 10 minutes in the morning when you wake up, 10 minutes at lunch, and 10 minutes in the evening. And if you have kids or you have family members that also need to be physical, get them involved. So do a 10-minute yoga in the morning with the kids, or do one by yourself if that's when you have your me time. Because we need to establish time that is specifically for you as an individual. So, mental health and wellness, there's positives to mental health that allow people to realize their potential. So, a lot of people, when they're kind of stuck, they'll say, well, I just don't know what my purpose is. I'm stuck kind of finding a purpose. So, when we realize their full potential in the sense of, okay, well, I'm great at caring for other people, I'm great at cooking, I'm great at school. These are recognizing our full potential, and that also gives us a sense of our purpose. And we have to remember that purpose changes. So, my purpose this week might be very different from my purpose next week. And that's okay because I don't have to stick to a purpose to feel that kind of success. So, we have to also make sure that we are measuring our own success by our own expectations, not by our families, not by societies, not by school life. So, making ourselves very aware of these types of things are how we're going to start that spring refresh. So, sitting down with yourself and writing in a journal, this is what I struggled with in the summer, and this is what I want to work on. And I like to use the language work on instead of fix because it's a work in progress. Everything needs to have continuous work to feel the best that you can feel. So if that is reaching out for professional health or professional help or just connecting with people that you used to connect with because that social connection was gone as well. These are things that help maintain our mental health and wellness. So, a lot of the times we do talk about self care and self love, and we also talk about love languages. But when we talk about love languages, we talk about kind of communicating with people around us, our spouses, our children. And so, because this is a mental health refresh for yourself, I want you to do a self care in the love language that you believe suits you best. So, these are some examples. So, for myself, I would say, physical touch is one of my love languages, and I carry a lot of stress in my body. So I make sure that I have at least um, one massage per month to make sure that that's also working on me because also living through pain is going to affect your mental health as well. So making sure that I do physical activity. I recently got a puppy, so she encourages my physical activity, right? So making sure that we are going outside, we're enjoying the warm weather. If the weather is too kind of smuggy, because right now it's not that great in Toronto, not going outside, but doing a little physical activity inside. So pulling up a dance YouTube video, because these are things that are important to you. So looking at, okay, if mine are words of affirmation, doing daily affirmations, looking at what mantras suit us best, doing positive self talk. So, really challenging those unhealthy thoughts and behaviors in the sense of why am I doing this? And what do I need to do to make a change so that I am feeling my best self? So I believe this is a video. So what I want to do is do a quick video of breathing and noticing. So what you're going to do is take a deep breath, hold it in for 4 seconds, and then slowly breathe it out. Focus on your breathing. And as you're breathing, I want you to kind of follow the videos. So this video has no sound. So if you can't hear anything, it's because they want you to really focus. So just follow along with the video and really take this time to relax because being a part of these 15 minutes were solely meant for you. So I'm going to repeat it, but I'm going to slow it down because usually I slow it down, but that was very fast. So it's 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. So this is a great thing to do, especially when we're in a high anxiety situation. So making sure that we are practicing these kind of movements so that we are able to ground ourselves, because we're really accountable for grounding ourselves. So that simple routine, in the sense that you're counting down, is really important as well. And then focusing on communicating your boundaries with the 3 C's of communication. So being clear, being concise, and being consistent. So if someone is being disrespectful to your boundaries, you need to be clear about your intentions and your main concerns. You need to be concise about what you need from them and how you would like to attain that. And then be consistent. We can't put responsibility on someone else to remember our needs constantly. So it's important that we are consistently communicating with the people around us. And we also need to teach this to our kids, right? Because communication and sharing our emotions and sharing our boundaries are important at home, in school, and then also in their social life. So we are running out a little bit of time, and I want you guys to also be able to look at this kind of grounding technique. And I want this to be something that you can carry around forever, right? Because you always have your hands with you, and this is the only tool that you kind of need. So you're going to start from your wrist and trace up the left side of your hand up to your middle finger while taking deep breaths for 4 seconds, right? And at the tip of your middle finger, you're going to hold your breath and breathe for 4 seconds again. So hold up here and breathe for 4 seconds. And then when you start to trace down, you're going to breathe out for another 4 seconds. And you're going to do that as many times as you want. Another really simple way to do this is to just breathe up as you're going, or breathe in as you're going up, and then breathe out as you're going down. Right? So that's another simple technique to do. And then another hand kind of mindfulness grounding technique that I want you guys to do is the finger tapping technique. So if you're having a really hard time concentrating, or you feel like you're very flustered, you need a minute for yourself, take a minute by placing your 2 fingers or your 2 hands together by the fingertips and tapping each finger 5 times, and that is your breath count. So if I'm tapping 5 times, that's how long I'm inhaling for. And then you're tapping this way as well, and that's how long you're exhaling for. Right? So this is a simple tool to teach our children to do whenever we need to, whether we're in the car at a parking lot, whether we're in the bathroom hiding from the kids, whether we're at work and we don't have kids or we're just stressed out. This is a simple tool for everyone to utilize. So this is something that is really important as well. Just remembering things that you can control and what you can't control. Because when you can't control these things, this is what we don't want to waste kind of our energy or emotions on. It's important to talk about the emotions that come with it, but what we want to focus is on, well, this is what I can control. This is what I have control of. Because when we have control, that is our ability to kind of feel that stress go away. Because we are in control of the people we surround ourselves with. We are in control of what we do to kind of make it a safe place for ourselves. So, this is something that I really want you to take away for your refresh. Because when we're thinking about, oh, well, the kids can't be in school and this and that, that's not something that we can control, right? or I can't go to work and this is difficult. That's not something I can control. What I can control is setting up Zoom meetings with my coworkers if I miss that social connection. Setting up different ways to kind of do work that I still feel that peace. So, whether it's working outside, whether it's designating a specific spot in your house where work is done, so you're not constantly going back and forth to work. So, this is what I want you to remember for your refresh. And then I have one last video, which is a breathing video that you guys are going to follow along for the last minute because I went over by a minute. But this is something to allow you guys to ground yourself for the rest of the day. And I want you guys to take those finger kind of grounding exercises and really work through that with yourself. So this is a breathing technique.
Clear your mind and focus on the circle. Take a deep breath with me, slowly counting to 4 as you breathe in. Hold your breath in with me for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slowly breathe out for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. One last time. Breathe in.
So I really want the breath
2,
in your belly while
3,
you're doing that.
4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can repeat this exercise as many times as you need.
So what's important to remember is that when we are doing those breathing exercises, we're really feeling it in our belly. So we should feel our belly pushing out and then also losing that air as well. So that's when you'll really find that you're actually engaging in proper breathing, and it takes time to work on, but these are some of the tools to help you mindfully reset. So remembering what I can control and what I can't control, being open to having extra support to deal with our emotional well being and our needs that we may have, and then implementing little moments of peace for ourselves. So, little pockets of peace where we can truly be with ourselves and focus on what our needs are. So, I thank everyone for coming today and allowing me to kind of walk you through a couple of mindfulness exercises. And if you ever need extra support, you can always reach out.
Thank you. I just kind of want to wrap this up here. If you resonate well with Brittany, she's been with us at SelfCare for quite a while now. She is one of our virtual counselors. She's doing a fantastic job. But you can book with us at on our website at www.coworthacare.com. It's pretty easy. If you hit the book now button, you can kind of follow along and find Brittany's face there and click on it. Or you can always give us a call as well, and Jessica, Angela, Emma, or Adam can help direct you to the right time as well and teach you how to kind of work our program as well. If there's any questions, now would be a good time. We'll give you just a second here. Great job, Brittany.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, you did such a great job. It doesn't look like there's too many questions, so I will let everybody go. And thank you so much for joining us as per usual.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you. Take care. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, everyone.